Hello and welcome to worksheet P9. We are looking at solving percentage problems. So before we get started, I want to remind you about our rules with percentage problems, and that is our generic formula, that is over of is equal to percent over 100. We always have 100 in that spot, and we're going to fill it in. You fill in that table for every single one of these problems, and we'll be able to answer our questions very easily. Every single one of these problems has percent problems in it. Use this formula and we're good to go. All right, so we're going to start by filling this in. We always know that number is always going to be 100 in that slot, so might as well fill it in when we're doing percent problems. Next thing you notice here is the 72 has a percent sign on it. We know that means it has to go in the percent sign. Percent sign is the most important thing to look for. If you see the percent sign, that number goes in the percent. Okay? And then the only other number we have in this problem is 111.6. That's next to the is, so 111.6 goes in the is spot, which means our variable is going in the of spot. We're going to cross multiply. All right. It's actually very easy to multiply by 100. We're just going to move the decimal 2 places, and so we get a 11160, 11,160. You can always type that into the calculator if you need. Is equal to 72x. We're going to divide by 72 to get to our answer. So in our calculator, we're going to type in 11160 divided by 72. And so the answer is 155. X is equal to 155. Notice that they do not ask us to find a percent, and so we do not put a percent on our answer. We just leave it as 155x. All right, let's move into question number 3. Filling in the table, we know that guy is going to be 100 when we do is over of equals percent over 100. 111 is the percent number, so it's going right in the percent slot. 28.1 is in the is, next to the is, so it's going in the is slot, which means the variable is going in the of spot. We cross multiply, moving the decimal 2 places because we're multiplying by 100. We get 2810, 2,810. Type it in your calculator if you don't believe me. 111x. We're going to divide by the number next to the variable. 2,810 divided by 111. Now, it didn't tell us how many decimal places to round to, so you get to pick. My suggestion is let's just do 1 or 2, whatever you choose. If you do 1, you would have 25.3. If you choose to do 2, then we're looking at where the 1 is. The 1, we have to decide, does it round up or not? The 3 would not have rounded up because of the 1 following it. But if we're going to round where the 1 is, that one is going to round up to a 2. So I always like to do 2 decimal places personally. That's just my habit. If you want to just do 1, I'm okay with that. If you want to do more than that, that's fine. I'll let you choose how many decimal places because I didn't indicate in the question. All right, question number 5. We know 100's going in this spot. 85 has a percent sign on it. It's going in that spot. 25 is next to the is. It's going in the is spot, which means the x is going in the of spot. We're going to cross multiply. 25 times 100, 2,500. 85 times x. We're going to divide by the 85, and so we need to know what 2,500 divided by 85 is. I have no idea what that is, so I type it into my calculator. I get 29 point. If I go 1 decimal place, I'll put a 4. If I go 2 decimal places, I'll round with the 1, but the 1 doesn't round up, it stays a 1. So I'm going to go 4-1. You could have 29.4 for your answer. I'd be perfectly okay with that. Question number 7, the thing we need to pay attention to here is they started putting label on our numbers. So we have to know that when we get to our answer, we're going to end up with a label of tons at the end. So whatever answer we get, we got to the word tons after it. I'm going to go ahead and fill that in right now just so I don't forget to do it for this problem. All right, I don't want to forget a label, so I'm going to stick it in there right now. All right, at this point we're ready to go. 83%, so it's going in the percent spot. 147.2 tons is next to the is, so we're going to go 147.2 in the is spot. The x is in the of spot. We're going to cross multiply. Just like up above, when we multiply by 100, we're moving the decimal 2 places. We end up with 14,720. Use your calculator if you need. I have no problem with that at all. Is equal to, not 25x, or 23x, is 83x. I'm going to rewrite it correctly. 83x, misread it. We're going to divide by 83. And so we've got 14,720 divided by 83. 177 to start with. Point. Now you can round to 1 decimal place. You could put a 3. Call it good because the 4 after it would leave it at 3. I like to round to 2 decimal places, so I'm going to round where the 4 is. The number following it is a 9, so I have to round the 4 up. So I'm going to say 3, 5. 4 becomes a 5. And last but not least, I'm going to hold off to the end to put my label. Notice I have a label here of feet. I need to make sure I remember to put the feet in the answer at the end. I know this guy's 100. I've got my percent, 188. The 144 feet is next to the is. So I'm putting 144 in the is slot. The of slot is the variable. We're going to cross multiply. 100 times 144. Moving the decimal 2 places is going to end up adding 2 zeros in this case, because the decimal was at the end of the number. I have 188x, and so we're going to divide by 188. Calculator, 14,400 divided by 188. 76 point. Now if you go 1 decimal, the 5 would become a 6, right? Now I'm choosing not to round to the 10th digit. I'm going to the 100th digit, the 9. Does the 9 stay a 9? Nope, it becomes a 10. Technically, the 59 becomes a 60. So I like to do 2 decimals there. Got to remember I have a label on my number up there, so I got to use the same label in my answer. And my variable is 76.6 feet. 76.60 feet if you prefer to stay the 0. The point being that we need to make sure that just be consistent in where you're going to round. Your job is now do the even numbers. Send the results to me. If you're doing really well, I'll send you the reassessment. Good luck.